Pleasure to have my friend, also movie maker and great author, Dinesh D'Souza on the line. Hi, Dinesh.
Hey, Joe. Good to be on the show.
It's always a pleasure to have you. I mean, with the news that happened today from the FBI director Comey, and the fact that you've got this great movie and great book coming out, I thought it only makes sense to get hold of Dinesh right now. The name of the movie is Hillary's America: The Secret History of the Democratic Party. That's also the name of the book. And let's just start from where everybody is today. James Comey comes out and he says she was inept, she was incompetent, she was foolhardy. Basically, she lied to us about what was on the deleted emails because we found a bunch of stuff she said wasn't on there. But we're not gonna recommend charges. Your first thoughts when you heard that?
Well, I mean, to be honest, my mind flashed back to the dozen or so FBI agents who were on my own case a year and a half ago. This had to do with exceeding the campaign finance laws.
Right.
I mean, if I had dreamed of altering records or deleting emails or any of that, I'm quite sure I'd be doing this phone interview with you, Joe, from a cell. So here we have Hillary, and I think what's so disheartening about this is that it literally is sending a message to the Clintons that they seem to be above the law. They've been doing these rackets going back to their Arkansas days. Getting money for pardoning people, handing out money to people to vote for them. It just goes. There's just a long trail here, and it just got worse and worse. And the fact that these worst offenses, which, by the way, this official idea that she was just negligent makes no sense.
Right.
You have to go to great lengths to do all this. She deliberately deleted those emails, so it's very disheartening. I think it shows it's going to send the message that if the Clintons get to the White House, we're going to be basically in a banana republic. And I think that's what worries me. This is what makes this film so timely and important.
The name of the film is Hillary's America: The Secret History of the Democratic Party. Filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza on the line. What's interesting here, well, it's not even interesting. What we should have expected here is the timing that President Obama loads Hillary Clinton on Air Force One, and at taxpayers' expense, they're now on a campaign stop in Charlotte, North Carolina, where he can go out and talk about how smart she is and how incredible she is, knowing that she's not under criminal investigation anymore. I mean, the timing isn't even suspect. It's just they planned it this way, right?
Yeah, I mean, Obama's been sending signals both to Loretta Lynch at the Justice Department and to the FBI that Hillary is sort of his hand-picked successor.
Right.
It's not Biden, it's Hillary. And so no wonder that these, cowering officials have decided, listen, if the big boss doesn't want her to be brought under indictment, we're not going to be the ones to put ourselves on the line. James Comey, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a really good future with the Clinton dynasty. These people have these secret meetings. They always plan these rendezvous. And then the people who do them favors get huge benefits down the road. So this is a very shady way of doing things. I mean, I grew up in Bombay, India, so I'm used to this third world style of using power in this way, but it's very depressing to see it come to America.
It is Dinesh D'Souza, Hillary's America: The Secret History of the Democratic Party. It opens in theaters July 22nd. There are going to be some special premieres also before that, and we'll make sure that we put the dates out. I'm going to put the trailer up right now on my Facebook, on my Twitter, and all over my website. I want you to go and see this. If you saw Obama's America 2016, or 2016 Obama's America, you know that Dinesh was prescient in everything that he said in that movie. Unfortunately, and I say this because I saw the movie and I said, man, I hope that doesn't happen. But unfortunately, you were right on with most of that. When you made that movie, did you want to be right? I'm guessing you wanted to be wrong.
Yeah, no, I made the movie as a kind of warning that, look, this Obama guy is not an ordinary Democrat. He's not a Jimmy Carter. He's not a Dukakis.
Right.
He wants to take America in a completely new direction. He wants to remake America by reducing our wealth and power, and boy, he sure has. With Hillary, this movie is much bigger because it isn't just about Hillary. It's also about the whole story of progressivism and the Democratic Party. And, this is a story that even most Republicans and conservatives don't know. I remember when I was younger, Reagan would say things like, I didn't leave the Democratic Party, it left me.
Right.
And the basic idea here was the Democrats used to be really good guys until maybe the 70s when, starting with McGovern, they kind of went off the tracks. What this movie shows is that there's a whole sordid history that goes all the way back to the early 19th century. It involves the worst crimes of American history, from slavery to segregation, Jim Crow, lynching, the Ku Klux Klan, forced sterilization, support for fascism. All of this is there, and it's all been buried under the rug. So this is a movie that's going to blow people away, and minorities in particular, African Americans, Hispanics who see this movie are going to walk out of the theater with a completely different perspective on American politics.
It's Hillary's America, The Secret History of the Democratic Party. Go to DineshD'Souza.com, DineshD'Souza.com, and go watch the trailer. I'll make it easy for you. I'll put it on all my social media, and I'll put it on my website too. Dinesh, I've got to ask though, we're not generally a dumb people. I mean, people that did a revolution to get independence, people that fought each other, fought itself to gain independence to gain independence from slavery and to ensure states' rights. Although we could argue about the Civil War. Having said all of that, how exactly? And you can't do it in 2 minutes on the radio, but how exactly were they able to pull the wool over everybody's eyes? I mean, we were a pretty smart young nation, and the stuff that you're going to expose in this movie, people aren't going to believe you. How have they been able to perpetrate this and be successful?
Well, one of the things that the left has done in this country very cleverly is they've made sure that they control two of the very big megaphones of our culture. The first one is higher education, and the second one is the mainstream media. Now, if you control those two megaphones, you become the source of the information that people get. So, for example, there was all kinds of admiration that progressives in the 1930s expressed for Mussolini and for Hitler. In fact, a young JFK went to Germany in the 30s and came back, fascinated, enamored with Hitler. He goes, all these people are against Hitler. Why? They're just jealous of him because he's so great. He's so good. Now, my point is, why don't we know this? Because after World War II, with the odor of the Holocaust, the progressives said, let's get to work. We got to bury this one because we don't want people finding about this now. So what's interesting is that we have allowed this kind of scam, this wool to be pulled over our eyes, and all this information that's out there, indisputable. There's nothing in my movie that is not in the historical record that can't be backed up. It's just that people don't know about it because your professors don't tell you, and it's not reported in the media.
DineshD'Souza.com. Go there. Also, make sure you get this book and go see this movie. You can buy the tickets now. Movie opens July 22nd. Hillary's America, The Secret History of the Democratic Party. Dinesh, I've got to ask you a question that I think probably millions of people listening want to know. Listen, Obama was so well trained in how to relate to an audience that I almost get why he tricked everybody. We have no idea what his background was. We have no idea who the man was. I mean, you exposed it, and a lot of people now know. But he was so slick and so smooth, and still is to this day. He's such an adept liar that it's hard to not just believe him. Bill Clinton the same way. The guy can sell you, your own shirt off your own back. He's that slick, and we know all the undercurrent there. But Hillary Clinton is hard to listen to. She is truly not somebody that people can relate to. How exactly is it that they want to prop her up and not the next megastar? She's not a megastar. She's hard to even listen to.
Yes, in fact, my book, which is called Hillary's America, same title as the movie, I begin with what I call the Hillary Enigma. And the Hillary Enigma is exactly this, that Hillary is a known crook. There's nothing appealing about her. She's a chronic liar. She's even lies about how she got her name. She lies about being under military fire. She lies about everything. So why would somebody who has been around for so long, we actually know her in the way we didn't know Obama, when he came out of nowhere. So why would people go for Hillary? I think the creepy answer to that question is this, that the reason a lot of Democrats go for Hillary is because she is a crook. In other words, the reason they go for her, they don't want Bernie, because Bernie, even though Bernie's an honest man and he may be a nincompoop, but essentially Hillary can get the job done. So I think what's going on here is that gangsterism is part of Hillary's pitch, and it's part of her appeal.
Well, I get why she's appealing to the leaders of the Democratic Party. And again, it's Hillary's America, The Secret History of the Democratic Party in book and movie form. Make sure you get both. And we'll go to the theater and see the movie on July 22nd and buy the book. I get why the party leaders would like her, but why do minorities line up to like her? Why do women line up to like her? Why do I'm confused why poor people think that she's going to help. She's not one of any of those people.
Right. So here we get to a big story, and this is a story that actually goes back to the 1930s. The Democratic Party, starting within the 19th century, was the party of slavery and it was the party of segregation.
Right.
Now, even though the Democrats were the majority party in the South, they were not the majority party nationwide. From the end of the Civil War right through FDR, the Republicans were the majority party. So the Democrats needed a kind of a new scam. They needed a kind of new way to bring people over to their side. And they came up with this, I think, brilliant but sort of diabolical idea. And the idea was to recreate the plantation, which the Democrats had essentially run for 150 years, recreate the plantation in the inner city and do it for all the minority groups. So for Native Americans, reservations, for blacks, ghettos, for Hispanics, barrios, for other immigrant slums. And so what you have is, starting in the 30s, the Democrats create these environments. And you notice that they're one-party states. I mean, you walk through Baltimore, Detroit, everything is miserable. Crime rates are horrible. These are like third-world enclaves in the United States, and yet they have Democratic mayors, Democratic city officials, Democratic school superintendent, Democratic sheriff. And so nothing changes. And in a sense, what's really happened is we have a new form of exploitation. But the paradoxical thing, Joe, is it's a form of exploitation that the people who live in those horrible regions keep voting for.
It is Hillary's America, The Secret Story of the Democratic Party. It's in book form. Make sure you get it. Author Dinesh D'Souza, movie maker Dinesh D'Souza. The movie itself will be in theaters July 22nd. You could buy the tickets now. I'll have the trailer on my Facebook and on my Twitter. Go check it out. You're gonna want to see a lot more of this. Last question, and I really appreciate the time today, and I know it was on short notice, and I appreciate you doing it for me. Can Donald Trump now pounce on the fact that James Comey said she violated the law? It was a federal violation. She was incompetent. She was unkept. She was in disregard of what the law was. We don't know that hackers went in, but they very easily could have. She was on wireless systems while in countries where people hate us, and people could have accessed her email at any time, but no charges. Couldn't Trump go after her now on every one of those except for the no charges? The no charges part isn't even that important today. What's important is the FBI director said Hillary Clinton is downright no good and did everything wrong.
Well, I think that this is going to be a big fight, and Trump will certainly jump on it. I think what Hillary is going to say, in effect, is, I was stupid, I was foolish, but I didn't do anything that was ill-intentioned. So she's going to appeal to the sort of nobility of her intentions, and Comey seems to have given her some cover to do that. The other thing I want to say is that Trump is, he's going to come under the most ferocious attack for being, a racist, a sexist, not liking immigrants, being, a fascist. The beauty of our movie is our movie turns the tables on this attack. And so we are actually, I don't know that much about the Trump campaign,
right,
but I think we're going into an unbelievable fight over the next few months, and we're going to be right in the middle of it.
It's DineshD'Souza.com. Dinesh D'Souza, he's the movie maker, he's an author. The new movie is Hillary's America, The Secret History of the Democratic Party. Tickets available now. It opens in theaters July 22nd. We'll have some notification of special. Did you want to announce the special premieres in Houston and Dallas?
Yeah, the movie is opening a week earlier, which is to say on July 15th in 3 cities, Phoenix, Houston, and Dallas, but in only one theater in each of those cities. But I will be there making a surprise appearance tonight, so I hope people will come out in big numbers, and particularly in Houston and Dallas. This is the weekend of July 15th.
Beautiful. Dinesh, it's always a pleasure, my friend. We'll talk again. We'll run into each other at the convention. I look forward to it.
Me too.